Hi, everyone. This is Gagan here from Mint Ops. Welcome to another Mint Ops webinar. Today, we'll be talking about automation and how that implies to your dental communication and booking workflow. So before we begin, I do have some housekeeping items. This webinar is recorded and a recording will be available on our YouTube channel in a couple of days, or maybe even after today. I do have a moderator here with me, so feel free to use the Q&A section and on the sidebar of the window. So if you are watching tonight's session on a mobile device, you can use swipe right, swipe left to switch between my webcam and question section. If you are interested in CE for tonight's session, please email us after the webinar. We like to keep our webinars practical and interactive, so don't be shy and ask questions. Thank you. So I'll begin with sharing my screen. We're gonna go over some key points, and I'm really excited to do so. Sharing my screen now. Okay, so as you see the title, automation that fills your schedule, it's very important to talk about this topic, especially now in the dental landscape. Most dental practices are being blasted with automation, AI, a lot of services out there. But I really wanted to take this opportunity to go into why it's important and what are we trying to achieve? What is it that we're trying to improve? And what exactly, especially when it comes to your communication and your booking flow, that is a major part of your operations. So let's further look into that. So as you know, the standard in dental booking and communication has totally changed. Your patients' expectations, they have changed drastically. Let's compare to last 30 years ago. Compared to 30 years ago, it has changed quite a bit. That is because of technology, what they access. Nowadays, convenience shapes behavior. So what comes easy? When the patient is on your website or texting to book, confirming their appointments through that, it is much more easier to do it through mobile devices. And we expect that. That is really the reality. I myself, when I book certain different appointments for other medical procedures, I like to book it online. I like to get my reminders. We're all busy. It's the age of too much information. That is why you need a lot of reminders. And then also communication, it helps you with your retention. So let's look into this. Let's look into the workflow. And then I will be showcasing the capabilities we have on our end as well. So first off, before we begin, we need to really look into friction. Why does friction matter? There is a lot of friction when it comes to a patient wanting to call your practice. In order to book an appointment, they have to call, maybe wait on hold. Also, they are going against their convenience. They're going to try to find the right time to do so. So that naturally builds up some friction, as well as phone-only booking has some bottlenecks to it. They might just get a voicemail. They're waiting on the call. So it is the reality of the day. The third most important point here is that easier booking improves follow through, right? So we need to remove friction from the process to speed it up, so we can focus on better things, better operational aspects. Now, when it comes to your bookings, your patient bookings, it's really the beginning. We need to have reminders that protect the attendance. If we don't have reminders, a patient can forget. That happens, especially when they're booked out 2 months in advance, 3 months out. Maybe they have a cleaning booked 6 months out, right? Their next cleaning, they just came in and they just booked their recall right now. We need to have a reminder there. And then we also need to follow up. So follow-ups are really good with creating that patient experience. So we're fulfilling the demand and also making sure our patients feel like there's appropriate information shared at the right time, and we're doing good recalls. We're making sure our patient base is it's retained, because a lot of times patients don't want to come back to a dental practice. That's just very, very natural. It's human nature. We don't want to book things. We don't want, especially, I don't know what it is. There's something about the dental chair. Patients don't want to be in that, including myself. Now that leads us into the front desk challenge. This is very common. I know every practice is different, and the tasks that they are dealing with, the front desk team is dealing with, might be different. But what we're trying to solve is the repetitive tasks, right? You are switching between priorities all the time. There isn't enough time for patient experience, patient service, like the one-on-one patient experience. I say this in respect to scaling your dental practice. I've had many conversations with receptionists that say that we have great rep with our team, as well as our patients. One-on-one, they know us. That is great. We want that. That is the gold standard. But at the same time, when we're trying to scale the practice and make things easier, we need integrated systems. So that will definitely help with this. Yeah, so now we're trying to go into what better workflow looks like. Your bookings, your recalls, your reminders, they should all be connected, because that in of itself removes the friction in the entire workflow. Once a booking is made, it should be in your PMS right there. Let's say an online booking is made on your website. It should be in your scheduler. From there on, the communication platform picks it up and sends the appropriate confirmation link, as well as forms. It will send the medical history form, the new patient form. Maybe it's an oral surgery status. So based on the statuses and categories, it will send them appropriate forms as well. That saves you time, saves the patient time as well before they're coming in. And they are used to doing that. That is the reality now. That way, the journey is very smooth. So in order to do that, we will look into the capabilities. The first is online booking. So the biggest convenience and the functionality of online booking is that patients can book anytime. That is when you're reducing real-time friction, right? So you're providing them real-time availability on your website through your communication recalls. So for example, for your recalls, they don't have to call and make the appointment, and staff is freed up for more important work. So I will get out of this presentation and I will take you into the online booking portal. So I'm running my online booking portal right now. As you see, I have two different appointments. One of them is hygiene, dental treatment. You see the dental treatment, there's a cosmetic option as well. Now, this is fully, we fully map this to your practice for all the different procedures that you have. We map it to that. You can have the emergency in there. You can have the cosmetic. You can have any different kind of appointment type. And then you have hygiene as well. So we also map it to your chairs. That's one of the most important things. Your providers, your chairs, your availabilities, create some buffers around it. So as well as when you manage your scheduler perfect, because this would be live connected to your Maxident scheduler. So you can create some blockouts, you can create some buffers, and that way patients can book directly on your website as well as through the communication. So when I click book on this, it's giving me the real-time availability in my Maxident database right here. So I do a lot of testing and it's very fun. So if we see, we got the option right here. Let's do 9. And I can put in my email. Okay, let's confirm the booking. Sweet. So that gives me a code, as well as I will get an email notification as well. So I just did. My appointment has been booked. So your patient receives confirmation on there, as well as your scheduler will be able to pick it up on the 13th. We see that there is an appointment right there that just got created on the 13th. And if I double click on it, you'll be able to see that what the information is, what the status is, as well as if it's a new patient, it'll create a new patient profile and get that done for you. So that is very important. So I want you to, always reach out to me and share your opinions on online booking. I've had many fruitful conversations with practices, and they have a lot of, feedback and functionality requests and what they want to map. So we're always looking into advancing our system, as well as, fixing your challenges. So now let's look into Engage B. That is the second solution when it comes to automating your workflow. So we're automating your entire patient communication, your reminders, follow-ups, and campaigns. And it helps reduce admin burden. With countless practices that I've worked with with Engage B, it has definitely helped them reduce their workflow. A lot of them were manually sending it. They were going patient by patient. You want to have automation, which I will get into, showcase it in a few minutes here. You want to have the capability for it to be set and you forget. You don't need to touch it. That's the entire idea. And you should be able to get your SMS and all those capabilities in one integrated system, as well as you can do targeted marketing with this, such as Invisalign, cosmetic, and other promos that you can run. So let's look into Engage B. As you can see, I'm showcasing the most important aspect of Engage B. It's entirely ran by these automations that we have set up. What we have is we have 3 different type of automations. One of them is appointment, recall, and blast. You can see that for my entire dental practice, Mintops Dental, by the way, I have for my appointment legend right here for the campaign. It is really tracking every appointment. So the system every day goes into the database and it picks up automatically that there's an appointment that's 45 days out from now. Let's send them a reminder. And then, as you can see, based on your Maxident statuses, providers, categories, as well as those smiley icons and any sort of icon you can attach to the Maxident profile, it'll actually pick that up, and we can play around and we can combine these features, and we can also choose what is the key constraint here. So when I define the logic, our implementation managers and trainers work one-on-one to map your workflow, because you have to remember AI is just a giant replication machine. It's a huge buzzword, but the reality is all it's doing is replicating things. And in order to replicate, it has to imitate. So that's why Engage B imitates your workflow. That's why it's so important for us to work one-on-one, learn about your practice, learn what it is that's important to you and your patients, and then map it onto the EngageBee workflow. So as you see for this one, it's fairly simple. For all the book statuses that are 45 days out from now, this is going to send them a reminder template for the appointment. The template itself is going to include a lot of information as SMS body, email body. If the patient has accepted SMS as an option, it will also send them an SMS. And we put your logos and everything in there, and I'll showcase that in a little bit. So let's look into the other options here. As you see, 30 days out, we have the reminder going out now for all the providers except one, because for that provider, we decided to send a different template. So for Dr. Ador, there's a different template going out. You can do a lot of, we do a lot of customization for you here. From here on, we have another reminder going out 10 days out, as well as any consent forms to go out for your surgeries, as well as any other treatment cases. And then we send you a confirmation link. As you see, if I go on today's calendar, I have a couple different appointments here. A couple of them were online booking ones. If I double click on this, you will see this is confirmed because it was done. And this is my test database. So, I did a lot of testing here to show you that this is also confirmed, and these statuses change automatically. Your template will automatically change this. I know this sounds like a lot of information, but this is happening in the background. When you have the system, it's happening without you realizing what's going on, as well as making things easier. You get the text messages, and the campaigns are running. Life is beautiful. So you see this as email sent status. The reason being because only the email was sent out here for that patient. Yes. So let's go back to EngageBee. After the appointment, it's very important for you to send out follow-up messages, especially if they had an oral surgery, which would be your post-wisdom tooth for all of your completed appointments. Let's change that to completed, not confirmed. And you see the status was oral surgery. It's going to send them out a template for that. Similarly, if someone has missed an appointment, if your patient has missed an appointment, we have 3 different separate logics going on. So one of them is your missed appointment, as well as your unhappy patient follow-up. If your patient the appointment is completed, but you feel like the patient is unhappy with the service, there is a specific follow-up you can set up for your patients in here. That's going to help you reach out to the patient effectively, as well as hear their feedback and take care of it before they decide to leave you a nasty Google review in which you might feel like you didn't get the chance to rectify the problem. And then you can also send a different post-appointment survey. So there are many options to track what is exactly that we're trying to achieve at every given point in their appointment history and in their appointment workflow. Now, you see that 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, we're following up with patients with information on their wisdom teeth. And you have the option to add as many steps as you want. We can even add one 20 days after, 100 days after, whatever the use case might be, we can definitely do that. So this campaign runs in the background. It actually goes over everything that you need, and all the practices running EngageBee that have this, they're able to use this for their specific use cases. Quick water break. Okay. So similarly, we want this to run for your recalls as well. As you see, before the recall date, 30 days before, we have a recall reminder going there. And then after the recall date, we have more reminders. So we want to reach out to the patient, educate them on why it's important to have that. As you see, there's different recall types that are attached to this as well. So it's going to cover everything that we select, and it will take care of that. And after 60 days as well, 90 days, 120 days, the post recall reminder, and throughout after 1 year. I know there's different methods of recall management for every practice, and I would like to take the opportunity to learn about it, how you track it. I can help you clean out your recalls and track them properly in Maxident, and do one-on-one sessions, and also look into your dental dashboard. I will show you how many active patients actually have a future appointment with recall attached. So Engage B will then go out and do that. So let me show you what the logic looks like. You set the date, and then you can just select the template. It's very good, straightforward, and it works. So it runs in the background. As you can see, it also uses the patient's preference as well, or the communication. And the preference is picked up directly from Maxident. It's the reminders tab in Maxident. Similarly, we can do targeted blasts for your patients. So email and text. You can see we can do cosmetic treatments, Invisalign, teeth whitening, weather warning, emergency closures, ear and hygiene promos. So we set up filters for those, and you were able to do that. I talked a lot about templates in the automation. Let me show you a few examples of templates and what I was talking about. For your appointments, if you see a basic reminder template, we have a lot of designs, and we combine that for you. So if you look at the different designs, pre-built designs in here, the system, by the way, automatically does happy birthday greetings. So we set that up, and then on the back, it takes the birthday information from Maxident, and it just sends it to those patients automatically. So we can attach this to the confirmation link. We map it out to your logos, your brandings, add your social media in here, as well as if we want to have a custom URL. If you want the confirmation link to redirect to your website, we are able to do that as well. And then our team does this entire setup for your practice. So it doesn't add a lot more work on your end. Similarly, you have a very basic text message here, and I can insert many tokens. So I have appointment information, and it dynamically picks it up from Maxident and relays it through the communication, right? Through the text message that comes in. Let me show you an example with what the link looks like. So if I hit preview, you can see what the email is supposed to look like. We can have your logo there as well. And then you can hit confirm appointment. That is not working exactly right now with the preview. I will do this live right now though, so you will see it. So we can do a test, and then there's a lot you can do here. So with your background colors, as well as adding different elements, your social media, your images in here, the backgrounds, we can definitely do that. So wait for it. You can see the online booking. Okay. Similarly, the link was you can also attach the link to the SMS in there. And it takes you, directly to the confirmation. And once confirmed, it will take you, your appointment will turn green automatically there. So let's check if I got the email. We just did. Perfect. So you see that I got myself an email here. Show block content. That's a problem we ran into. The browser saying it's not secure, some sort of a link, because it's an internal test link. Okay. That is because it was an internal test one. That's why. I just did it from my phone, and it works. That's because I was doing a test and it was not actually sent to. So there is an option to do a manual send option as well. And we're able to do it. So if I do it here for all my patients right here, do it for test patient here, review and send. This is actually going to confirm it, and it's going to pop up in my calendar as well. As you see, I have some test patient appointments right here. So that it's going to send me some confirmation links, as well as on my cell phone. Okay. Now, you see the batch has been sent successfully. That's very important because we can also track all of this data in your Maxident stats. So on the stats page, you are able to see what was sent, what was the conversion flow, what was the suppression, what was the send rate, how effective it was. This is very important. So let's see. Let's hit confirm appointment. There we go. So it works. So as you see, I had multiple appointments here and they have now turned green. So much for the inner testing, and I was sending it. It works perfectly. And then we have so many clients that use this platform as well. They're able to utilize it, and it makes such a huge difference. Now let's go into EngageB. There's a lot that I need to get to you. You have a dedicated messaging system, your patient chat. As you can see, when you open your patient chat, it has the patient information as well as their family information and your AR summary at the bottom. We did some inner testing again, and you can see that with the test patient as well. Now, the best part is, since this is integrated with Maxident, you are able to see it directly from your Maxident window as well. So you can see that you can launch the two-way texting directly from Maxident. You don't have to be logged into EngageB, as well as all the incoming text messages pop up right here. So I will text myself back. And we want to see that. So let's see. You see that I got a text message right there. And my patient chat also lit up with one unread message. So when I click on it, I'm able to see that. Perfect. Okay. So that's that. And then we have many more settings. So you get up to 3 email addresses will get confirmations of appointments being confirmed. So all of your settings are sent. You have a complete history of all the communication that has went out, because you want records and we want to see what message was delivered and not. And you have one manual send option as well for those one-off cases where you want to send something manually. You are able to select the template as well as select what patient we're sending it to. That's that. So we took a quick look at templates, and we have some recall templates as well. So you can see that I'll quickly show you a template before we dive into forms. We have some templates here. Have the booking button as well built into it. So your recalls are actually saving you time. Patients can book directly. The online booking is integrated with Maxident. So let's see that. I have sent myself the same template via email. So if I click book now, it's actually going to take me to an online booking link. And you can see the schedule, you can see the availabilities, and I can book directly from here. So what you're doing effectively, you're effectively reducing friction from the booking flow. You want to have a better conversion when patients are looking you up on Google, they go to your website, as well as when they are being reminded of their recalls, they should be able to book this directly. So I confirm the booking. Okay, so it works perfectly. So we now have a confirmation as well for it. So that's great. Now, when it comes to EngageB and your templates, as you just saw a template here, one of the key important aspects of it, apart from the branding and all the beautiful things we can do for you and the blast messages and the templates, we have to look into forms. Forms are very important. Because it gives your patient the capability to fill them out beforehand. So you can actually do that. So let's look into a medical history with the dental form. So this form is sent out to your patient, and they can fill it out before they come in. Automatically goes into your Maxident, which is amazing. So when I click on this icon right here, the form, secure forms history, it shows me all the forms sent for this patient, what was completed. You can also access it from your MaxiChart as well. And you can see this, right? So you double click on it and it shows you the form that was done. And these are digital and they're secure forms. One of the important aspects about EngageB is that it's an in-house service. It's an in-house product. So this is not a third party attaching to your Maxident. I know there's a lot of companies out there that say they work with Maxident, but it's essentially hacking the database. EngageB is the only communication platform that is built to work with Maxident in a secure way. And the same amazing team is here to help you with that. So incredible amount of forms. We can add your logos here. Change the name, so we can add the logos, upload a header background. Couple cool options here. So compare previous answers. You can have completion notifications as well. Allows provider review. So what that means is when the form comes back completed, your providers can add their notes onto that. And then you can have the forms in all the different languages as well. And then we have a lot of different options here. This is the cool toolbox. Our team sets this up for you. If you send us your paper forms, you replicate that into digital forms. And I can do that myself. I've done that in the past where clinics exploring EngageB, they sent me a form and I set it up with their logo and everything so they can view it. So these forms are attached to your templates and they're automatically sent out based on the statuses again. So if you have a new patient form status, it automatically sends it out to the new patient form there. New patient category in your scheduler. So one other thing done before the patient shows up to the practice. So we have different surgery consent form as well. Let's take a quick look. You can also print it from here, but we want to save paper. That's the entire goal. Okay, now another very important feature here. We want to do campaigns when it comes to your blast, your campaigns, as well as doing any sort of targeted messaging, whether it's remaining insurance, whether it's weather warning, running a hygiene promo. We have the option to combine different filters. So we have demographics, clinical, as well as admin filters that we can combine. And you can see that I have this turned on for all the patients that are active and not deleted, as well as you also have, for example, you can look into patients with insurance remaining. So if they have insurance remaining more than $300, it will filter that down as well. Also, patients with recalls, you see the different options, the recall types, as well as if it's a future recall or an overdue recall. And then different demographic filters as well. Location, what is their age range? That was a big one with CDCP as well. If it's a patient birthday, so we can combine those and we can put together a template, like a blast template, and send out one-off blast. And I'll show you that in the blast campaign right now. So if you see my blast campaigns, I have one set up for cosmetic treatments. And you do have the option to make this either yearly, monthly, weekly, or it's a one-time send. That's because you might want to send a particular message every fall. Every October, you want to reach out to patients that have insurance remaining. If their insurance resets in December, which most of them do, so you can boost that, and it's the right time to do it. And we help you plan all of that, as well as your Invisalign marketing. You want to reach out to your patients, and not only Invisalign, any specialty and any sort of treatment that you offer in your practice, we can blast that and we can educate your patients on it. Okay. And then, it's also important to, because you can access EngageB from anywhere, it's a cloud-based system. Even if your Maxident is server-based, it connects to your Maxident database over the cloud. And you'll be able to, send a blast letting them know because of bad weather, the clinic is closed. So it's very handy in those scenarios as well. Okay. So we looked at filters, we looked at campaigns, forms. Now the entire point of this EngageB setup is to imitate your practice. We want to imitate your practice so we can eliminate repetitive tasks on your front desk team so they can focus more on patient care and that one-on-one patient connection that they have. And they have more time to work on important factors. So let's go back to our slide. So that was EngageB. It's a lot. It can be a lot of information at one go, but this is why I wanted to provide you an overview and why it's important. And then we can have one-on-one conversations on how this works for your practice and how we can make it better. Even if you think that you don't need it and your team can handle all of this, the idea here is to help you scale. The more patients that you see, the more burden is added to your front desk team. EngageB and these tools, they eliminate that essentially, right? So we want to use our the talent at the practice to scale the practice. It benefits everyone. Now, I have some examples of EngageB marketing opportunities, and in general, there's other marketing ways to go about it as well. EngageB will blast it out to all of your patient base as well. And if you ever want to discuss marketing, we do have a marketing division. So, we can go into other methods of marketing as well for dental practices. So you have your new patient acquisition, as well as Invisalign, teeth whitening promos, seasonal cosmetic specials, new patient welcome and brand introduction campaigns, veneers, bonding, smile makeover offers. So there's a lot we can do. And I would like to learn about you and what you want to do at your practice, what your vision is, so we can map it and we can take it to the next level. So as we looked into the online booking and EngageBee integration, this is the right time to look into why recall reminders need to do more. So I'm circling back to the integration, why your recall reminder needs to have that booking link. Again, the goal here is to reduce friction. That is what's causing the delays. We all delay. It's human nature. We all think that, yes, we'll get back to, as we're trying to do 1,000 things at one time. We can reach out to the clinic and book that. And we do it. I'm not saying we don't, but at the same time, when there's convenience and you actively reduce friction, the conversion is there. So the booking conversion is much, much better. So when there's a call list to book, there's friction. But if there's easy next steps available at that exact moment, they're motivated to book right away. As you saw, the EngageBee and online booking integration, all the recall reminders can include booking links. Patients can book from the message directly, and it also reduces the manual follow-up, because when it's booked, the appointment is there. You don't have to manually follow up and book them, and it reduces the number of phone calls your team is handling. So what is your ideal workflow? What should that look like? The step one is automated reminder via SMS and email. There should always be a convenient booking link. Your patients should be able to book appointments online easily. And then there should be instant confirmation follow-up automatically, right? So that's the modern day reality. And as clinics scale, as they improve their practices, I worked one-on-one with different practices to do this. And every practice has a different story. It's different settings, different type of patients they see. So it's our duty to replicate that and eliminate all of these repetitive tasks. Okay. So what does this mean for the clinic? You have less phone tag. You can make better use of your team time. You have more completed appointments and more consistent workflows. That is because all of your systems are connected. There is no running back and forth and then a list that you need to call to confirm and send out and catch up on your recalls. And you also get the stats, how many recalls were sent, and less phone calls. You're able to take care of patients much better. The staff is also very happy. So it has plus win-win situation for everybody. And when your patients feel, when it's easier for your patients, it's also very easy for the practice as well. They feel welcomed. So let's look into some questions here. Good to go. So that's essentially it. The entire point here was to go over why we're trying to achieve this. There's a lot of AI talk and so many different services available. But my interest is always to look into your workflow. It's always to go into what exactly are we trying to achieve. It's not always to just add more technology. It's much better to understand the need, and then we work with the technology to boost your practice, so you don't feel like you're just adding subscriptions and you're paying a lot more. There is real-time value to this, and once you achieve that, that's when you'll feel satisfied. You'll see the value that the system is providing you, and we take it from there. So are there any questions you would like to go over? Seems like we're good to go here. So yeah, so thank you everyone for attending. It was a pleasure. I would like to take the opportunity to connect with you, to look into your systems, and then we'll always map it out. We have an amazing marketing division, the software division, as well as recruitment, remote admin, as well as our transition consulting. So MintOps is doing creating an entire ecosystem for you, and I can always be reached at Gagan@mintops.ca. Thank you.